Thank you for joining today's Academy, and the topic of today is Nfield upload tools. I'm pretty sure most of you has used this tool before, but maybe not every one of you are utilizing it. So we would like to make use of this chance today to show you a little bit more of the function. Then see how this can streamline your preparation work for the Nfield CAPI. All right, let's go to the agenda. So this is the agenda. First, we will have an introduction, explaining a bit why we have the intention of building this tool. And then the second part, we will show you the requirement of using these tools, like in which platform.
Edwin, do you hear me? No, it seems he doesn't.
Hi Frank, do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. We have gray, looks like pop-up screens over the screen. Oh. Yeah, they are moving now. Yeah, they're gone now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, sorry for the disruption. Let's continue. The second part, we will show you on the requirements how you can run this tool, like on which platform, which Microsoft suite, and then we will show you where can you find this tool, and then after getting this tool, what files you can find in this package. And then, of course, we will show you how you can make a connection to the Nfield backend. And the last two sections, we will explaining the uploading and downloading functions one by one. And of course, at the end, we will have a live demo. Okay, so why we would like to build this tool is because of the lack of user interface. Because, for example, if you would like to upload sampling points or you would like to upload addresses, from Nfield Manager, there's no such interface to allow you to do this action. And apart from the lack of user interface, maybe is some lack of interviewer management. So currently, if you would like to create new interviewers, you need to create one by one through the Nfield Manager. So you can imagine if you have 1,000 interviewers, which means you need to edit 1,000 times, which is quite time consuming. So we start to consider how we can streamline the preparation work for all our users using the Nfield CAPI. And also, if you are doing some wave project for the code flame or for the response code or for the translation, you can't just copy and paste from previous wave to current wave. So which also means that for every wave you need to create once again, which is also quite time consuming. So the purpose of building this tool is to minimize the gap between the Nfield CAPI Manager. So the requirement of running this tool is basically it can run on any Windows platform. Currently, it only supports Windows platform. For the version of the Microsoft Suite, it should be 2007 or newer, but it could run on both 32 or 64 bits. It doesn't matter. And because this tool has a connection with the Nfield backend, is basically it is sending some HTTPS requests to the Nfield backend. So, and internet access is a must. Otherwise, you won't be able to even do a successful login. And of course, you need to the information of the domain that you're currently working on, and then the login credential, for example, the username, password, and of course the region that your domain is located. We have APAC, we have Europe, and we have America. All right, so where can you download this tool? Of course, you can go to our official website and then use the login to log into the customer portal, and then go to the useful tool section, and you will see the useful tool is available there. Maybe we can have a quick look over there. This is the official website of Nipple Software, and on the right top corner you can see a login where you can enter your email address and password. All right, so after logging in, you go to the useful tools, and then you will see the tools that we have built. For example, here you can see the UploadTools. There's a description showing you the functions of this tool, and the most important thing is here. We have a release date here. So we just published a new version of UploadTools yesterday. From every now and then, you can log into this customer portal to check whether we have new release on this UploadTools. By looking at this release date, you'll be able to know whether your existing tool is the latest one or not. Okay, so let's go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so after downloading the UploadTools package, actually it consists of two things. The first thing is, of course, the UploadTool, the VBA program itself, which is named in UploadTool.xlsm. Apart from the tool itself, we have subfolders. In these subfolders containing some examples, because when you're trying to do some actions like uploading sampling points, uploading interferers, it is required to have a format, like you need some headers in the Excel sheet, like the username of the interferers, etc., etc. So in these example files, we have some templates giving you an idea how should the Excel sheet look like. In the live demo, I will show you one by one. We have example files of addresses. Apparently, this is for uploading addresses. And then we have the example files of assignment, doing assignment to assign interferers to sampling points. And the interferers is for uploading interferers. Quarter flame for uploading quarter flame and response scope. And also sampling points show you how the format of sampling points, and also the translation. These are all the example files you can find in the UploadTool package. Okay, so now this is the login page of the UploadTools, where you can specify your domain, your username, password, and your region. here you can, which type of user you should use here? You should use the user account for logging in your domain through the Nfield manager, not the one for interferers. And the users type here can be a regular users or a limited users. For the later one, it is not allowed to log in through the Nfield manager, but a limited user can use the login credential to log in through the Nfield API. So this tool is built on the Nfield API. So a limited users can use the login credential to log in through this tool. Okay, and one thing that this tool is slightly different from the Nfield manager is maybe you have experienced before when you're using the Nfield manager is when you do not have any actions for over 15 minutes on the Nfield manager, you will automatically be kicked off. If you would like to continue your actions in the Nfield manager, you are enforced to log in again. But this tool, once you have clicked the sign in, and if you see OK status showing here, technically you are not necessary to log in again because your login credential are still here, and when every time you try to do an action in the Nfield upload tools, it will check the connection whether it is expired or not. If it detected that it is your section is expired, it will do another sign-in based on the credential you have specified here to make a connection again. So this is the difference between this tool and the Nfield manager. So here's the Q&A section. Do you have any questions so far?
We don't see any questions coming in this time, so I'll continue.
Yeah, perfect. Then we will start discussing the uploading and downloading functions. All right, these are the functions, these are the actions that you can do from the upload tools, like uploading interferers, uploading sampling points, uploading addresses, assignments, quota frame, translation, and response code. Of course, it allows you to upload new interferers, sampling points, new addresses, new quota frame, or new translations. But there's a sort of hidden features in this tool is, for some action, it allows you to edit existing records, which means for example, interferers, like you would like to update the contact number of the interferers. If we don't have this tool, what you can do is log into the Nfield manager, find specific interferer, click to the details, and change the telephone number. But now there's an easier way. You can make use of the upload tools. Also with the same format how you upload new interferers, but this time you can upload the new information of the interferers. However, not every field can be modified. For example, the username of the interferers cannot be modified, and also the password and the viewer office and the interviewer ID cannot be modified. So if you need to reset the password, you still need to log into the Nfield manager to click the reset button. Also for uploading sampling points, apart from uploading new sampling points, you can change the content, change the values of the existing sampling points. For example, the names of the sampling points, the target of the sampling points can also be added. Just two fields in the sampling point can be added. One is the sampling point ID, and the second field is the preference. The preference is determining a sampling point, whether a sampling point is a regular or a spare sampling point. And also for the response scope, you can update the specification of existing response code as well. So any questions for the uploading part?
No, we haven't seen any questions yet.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so let's continue. Okay, so apart from the uploading functions, we have introduced a downloading function as well, because like I said, some of the actions allow you to update existing record in your domain. So the downloading function becomes useful. For example, you would like to modify the contact number of a list of interviewers. So now what you can do is just download the interviewers from your domain. Then you can, based on the Excel sheet, to update the information of the interviewers. Then you can upload this file again in the uploading function. And apart from downloading the interview list from your domain, we also have a function allows you to download the sampling points. This function becomes useful especially when you are working with the survey type sampling points using quota. Because when you download a sort of template from the download sampling points, it also reads the quota structure of your survey and automatically put it in the header of the template. So after downloading the sampling points, you can just simply put on the sampling point details and also the targets of each quota cells. Because in the template, you need to follow a format, and sometimes you may forget the format. So now you don't have to remember anything. Just download sampling points to kind of download a template. Then you can base on the template to fill in all the information you need. And also the same applies to the addresses. Apart from this download function, we can also get a contact log from particular projects, because currently this kind of information are stored in Paradata, and you need to make use of the data in the Paradata to build a sort of contact log. But now we streamline the process. We will first download the data package from your domain, unzip the package, read the Paradata files, and generate a contact log as an output file. And also we have a function to get a GPS map. The GPS location, like the latitude and longitude, are also located in the Paradata files. So the concept behind is similar to how you get the contact log. We will first download the data package, extract it, read the Paradata, and generate a GPS map. It's actually plot the location on a Google map. Okay, so any questions for the downloading functions? If no, then we will go straight to the live demo.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right, so maybe let's have a look to the package that you can download from our website. Actually, after you download, you will see this folder UploadTools, in which you will see this UploadTools. This is the main program, and this is how it looks like after you open the files. And then we have some example files attached as well. You can check the details, like this one is for uploading addresses. So you will see there's a field sampling point ID, because before you can upload addresses, you need to upload sampling points first. So there's a column to specify the corresponding sampling point ID, and then the address ID. This should be unique. And the details of the addresses, and there's a column called the appointment date, because you can make appointment in advance or just leave it blank. Then there will be no appointments for particular address. And in the address Excel sheet, now we also support the background data. So when you upload the addresses, you can also upload the background data in advance, and you need to specify the sample data with a colon, and then this is the variable name. So which means that in the questionnaire files, you need to have a variable called help desk. There's a relationship between the background data and your script file. So this will be the value of the variable help desk. And if you have more than one background data, just create it on a new column. If you have 10 background data, then 10 columns, and then specify the sample data with the colon, and then followed by the variable name. Okay? Then also we can have a look at the assignment, because the assignment is designed for doing the assignment on sampling points. So you can see we have a header to specify the sampling point ID, and then we have a second column. This is the interviewer ID, which you can find from the interviewer table in your domain, or you can just simply make use of the download interviewers function to download the entire interviewer list from your domain, and you will see a column called the interviewer ID. I'll show you later on anyway. So this is not the username nor the first name or last name. It is talking about the interviewer ID of the interviewer. So because as you may know now, sampling point, a single sampling point can assign more than one interviewer. So if you would like to assign more than one interviewer to a single sampling point, specify it one by one. All right? Then we have the interviewers Excel sheet. Here we have a couple of headers here. You need to specify the username, and then first name, last name, also the email address, telephone number, and password, and the viewer office. Because you can assign more than one viewer office to a single interviewer. So if any interviewer has more than one viewer office, use a comma to separate the viewer offices. And the last column, we have the interviewer ID. You can just leave it blank, because when you try to create a new interviewers, actually the system will generate a unique interviewer ID to an interviewer, so you can just leave it blank. But of course, you can also create your own ID, but there are a few points that you need to aware. The first one is it must be unique, and the second is it must be in 8 digits. Okay, then we have quota flame. It's more complicated because you need to build a table and then specify the parameters. I'm not going to explain it because previously we have a section talking about the quota flame. And also in this file there's a README explaining different scenario, showing you how you can create a syntax, how you can create a quota flame or even an interlock quota flame. So but I will show you how you can upload the quota flame using the upload tool. And then we have response code. Also, starting from 200, you are allowed to create your custom response code. So the first column, you need to specify the response code. And then the second column, you need to give a description, the description of the response code itself. And then these are the specification of the response code, like whether this is a definite response code, whether this is selectable from the Nfield copy apps, and whether this is allowed to make appointment. So you can imagine that these two specifications cannot exist at the same time because response code cannot be definite as well as can make appointment at the same time. Here you can fill in the value, 1 or 0. 1 means true, 0 means false. Apart from filling in by 1 and 0, you can put a true here or false. It also does the same. And then the next point that I need to tell you is these headers are not necessary in this sequence. As long as you have a column called the response code, as long as you have a column called the description is definite, then it is okay. The program can locate where the column is and read the values one by one. All right? We have a
question. Those response codes. Can I use those response codes on all survey types, or are they for one survey type?
Yes. Okay. So maybe we go back to the slide a bit. For the uploading functions, when you click on the survey drop-down list, actually it automatically do some filtering based on different actions. Okay, for example, when, for example, upload sampling points, apparently this action will load the projects using sampling point, which means the sampling point with quota, sampling point with addresses. And then for this action, upload addresses, it shows only the survey type sampling point with addresses. And for the upload assignment, it shows the survey type using sampling points, both with quota and addresses. Quota flame, it can work on every survey types, which is not using sampling point, and also for using sampling point with quota and addresses. This also applies to upload translation and upload response code. So back to your question, yes, you can upload response code to all the survey types, and maybe it also includes the Nfield Online as well, as far as I know. Okay, any other questions?
No further questions.
Thank you. So we'll continue on looking at the example files. You can see we have two example files on sampling point, one without quota and the other one with quota. So this is an example files for the survey type sampling point with addresses. You need to specify the sampling point ID, of course, and this ID must be unique. The group ID is just for grouping, like you would like to group sampling point ID 1 and 2 as the same group. And then you also need to give a name to a sampling point ID. Probably it will be a district, or even it will be an area or whatever. Okay, then we have a description here. This is the description per sampling point. Okay, and then this is the target per sampling point. For example, in this sampling point, I would like to do 20 successful interview, and in the other sampling point, I would like to do 50. So this is the column where you should specify the target. And then the preference. We have two preferences of the sampling point. One is regular. The second one is spare. The spare really means spare. After you have uploaded to your project, it doesn't show up because it is for spare. But currently, once you have defined the preference of a sampling point, you cannot change its preference. So if you put a spare in a sampling point and upload it to the to your domain, you cannot change it to regular again. But maybe some days later it is possible. I don't know. Maybe Frank knows it more better than me.
Let me say, you cannot change it through the API. You can, of course, change spare to a regular through the interface.
But I did try to change the preference through the upload tool. It is not possible in this tool.
Yeah, not through the upload tool, but you can do it through the interface, of course.
Yeah. So, which implies if you want to change the spare to regular again, you need to modify the tools a bit yourself, because the tool itself is open source. You can modify anything you like to make it suitable for your operation. Then the last column, viewer office. You need to specify to give a viewer office to sampling point, because each sampling point can assign a single viewer office. So here you just need to specify a single viewer office. Then we have looked to the example file when using quota. It looks similar to the previous sample files. The only thing different is we can see we have the columns for the target, and is the syntax of this is pretty strict. You need to follow the syntax. Like, first you need to specify quota target and then colon, and then specify the target. This is the target of the quota flame. And then the next will be the breakdown of your quota flame. For example, in your quota flame, you have a quota variable age. Then you need to specify target /age/0 to 18. This is the quota self of this variable. So you can imagine if you have a very large quota flame, you need to create headers yourself, which is also quite time consuming. So we have the download functionality, allows you to download a template. And lastly, we have the translation. These are the translation in different languages. Okay, so whenever you have translation, just put all the translation here and then upload to the your domain through the tool. Okay, so let's go for a live demo. So maybe first of all, I will log into my domain. I have already created 2 empty survey. One using sampling point with quota. You can see we don't have the quota flame yet. We don't have any sampling point yet. And we haven't do any assignment, of course, because we don't have the sampling points. And the other one is sampling points using addresses. Also, there's no sampling points. There's no interviewers assigned. Okay, so now we can use the upload tools. When you use these upload tools, you can entirely get rid of using the Nfield manager. I'll explain it why. First, you need to fill in your domain name, which would be the same as I entered previously, and also the username and password. And select the correct region. This domain is located in Asia Pacific, and click Sign In. Okay? As long as you see this OK status, which means you have successfully made a connection with the Nfield backend. The first thing you notice from here is all the actions become available, okay? And, well, let's start from the easier tasks first. For example, now I would like to upload interviewers. Then I need to check what interviewers we currently have in our domain. So we can simply click on the Download Interviewer button and click the download. Okay. When it's finished, there's a pop-up showing you, telling you download completed, and show you where this file's located. Usually, it is in the same directory as the upload tools itself. So, in the same directory, I can see the interviewer Excel sheet. So let's open it to have a look. So this is the current interviewers that we have. All right. Then we would like to upload some new interviewers. We have a demo files here. For example, we have this. We would like to upload these new interviewers. Currently, these are not present in the domain yet. Okay, you can see the interviewer AAA, BBB, and CCC, right? Okay, let's close all the Excel sheet first. And then we can now do the upload action, upload interviewer. And then select the source files. We have the source file in oops. Interviewers, open, upload. When it finishes, there's a notification, upload completed. Of course, in order to check whether these interviewers are uploaded successfully or not, you can directly go to the Nfield Manager to double check the interview grid to check whether they're present or not. But this time we try another way. You can do another download action again. Okay. Another interviewer table is downloaded. This time, maybe we can sort by the okay. Now you can see the interviewer AAA, BBB, CCC, DDD, and EE are now present in the domain, which means it uploaded successfully. And of course, you can go back to your Nfield Manager to double check. Oops. You can also see the interviewer AAA, BBB, right? So this is the reason why when you're using these two, you can simply use the tool, and you're not necessary to log into the Nfield Manager anymore. And then now we try to, let's say we're now trying to create a project using sampling point with quota. So if you're doing through the Nfield Manager, of course you need to create a project and then create a quota flame. After you have created a quota flame, start to upload sampling points, and then start doing the assignment of interviewers, right? So if we are using the Nfield, if we are using these upload tools, we can actually do the same. First of all, we need to upload a quota flame. Otherwise, if you upload sampling point before creating a quota flame, it doesn't work properly because it can't read the targets, and it is not it's not able to read the quota variable and quota cell. So remember to create quota flame before uploading the sampling points. I also prepare a demo files quota flame. It is quite simple. We are trying to create a quota flame where there is a gender variable and two quota cells, male and female, and the target is 57 and 58. All right. So we can now do the upload quota flame action. Click it, and there's a drop-down box showing all the surveys available in your domain. We are now using the demo project, and we need to specify the source files as well, which is this one, upload. Also, if it is finished, there will be a notification showing you upload complete. If there is any errors, there will be another notification telling you there is an error, and an error log will be generated in the directory as well. Okay, so then we can go back to the Nfield Manager to double check whether the coder flame is created. You see, now the coder flame is created. Then we can now move forward to upload sampling points. Also, we can have a look with the sampling point. I just specify the ID name and not this one, sorry. Should be with quota. I specify the ID, the name, the description, the viewer office, and I will show you how it looks like if the preference is spare. And how can I get this template is I simply use the download sampling point function and also select from this survey download. And there's a template downloaded in this directory, so I can simply go to here. This one should be the template. You can see the headers for the target, the quota frame is ready. So you just need to fill in the numbers here, etc., etc., and fill in the sampling point IDs and name and description. Okay. Then we can now upload sampling points. Also the same project, but this time select a different source files, sampling point with quota. Upload. Completed. Of course, you can also refresh the page here to see which sampling point has been uploaded. You just see the first two because these are regular, and these two are spare, so you won't be able to see it in your domain because they are spare. All right. Alternatively, you can also once again download the sampling points, and also from the same project. To double check whether this sampling point has been uploaded successfully or not. Okay. All right. So after uploading the sampling points, then we need to assign interviewers, right? For the assignment of interviewers, if you have assigned viewer office to sampling point, for example, assign interviewers, it only lists out the interviewers with the same viewer offices. So in the assignment file here, you need to check from the interviewer list which interviewers has the same viewer office of this sampling point. Okay, if you forget it, you can just find the source files again. Here, this one, a headquarters viewer offices is assigned to sampling point ID 1, and Nfield HK viewer office is assigned to this sampling point ID. All right. So the best way we can check, of course, you can go to the interviewer list here. To check from the viewer offices. Alternatively, you can also make use of the function in the UploadTools, we have already downloaded the interviewer list. You can check which interviewers are under the same viewer offices. For example, me, I'm under headquarters, Nipo HK, and then copy this interview ID to this column, okay? And then we can now try to upload assignment, also the same project. Assignments, upload. And also upload completed. We can go back here now. When you see this icon, which means multiple interviewers are assigned to this sampling point, if you click into this sampling point, of course you can see the breakdown of the quota flame, and of course you can see all the assigned interviewers in this sampling point. And now you can see all the interviewers which are assigned to this project. Okay? Then actually the concept is similar to work with this sampling point and addresses. The only difference is the source file of the sampling point is different because this time, in the survey type sampling point using addresses, it does not support quota flame, so you don't actually need to create quota flame. You can directly skip this step and directly go to uploading the sampling points. It's the same apart from not having the quota headers. Okay. Now, same action, upload sampling points, but this time we select a different project, sampling points with addresses, and different source files, and upload. Completed. We can have a look. You can see the sampling points are ready now. Then we can upload addresses. Let's have a look to the example file of addresses. You need to specify the corresponding sampling point ID, and then the address ID, and then also the appointment, and if there is any background data, you need to specify in a column as well. I can show you if at this point, if we download the addresses from this sampling points with addresses, the file should be empty because we haven't uploaded any addresses yet. Now we upload the addresses with this addresses file and upload. Completed. If you go back to the Nfield Manager, there is no way that you can check whether the addresses has been uploaded or not. One of the methods is you do a synchronization from your tablet and then click to a particular sampling point to check whether those addresses exist or not. So this process is not user-friendly. So you can download. Yep.
Edwin, there is one alternative way. You could also do a download of the data and then the power data, because those addresses are there already too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, thank you. So this is another way that you can double check those addresses uploaded successfully or not, but still, you need a couple of steps in order to check whether they're present or not.
It's not very user-friendly. It's certainly something we will improve upon in the new interface.
Yeah, true. So in this upload tools, it slightly help a bit because you can download the addresses from particular survey again. Okay, we are working on the sampling point with addresses. Download. This time we get a new address file with these addresses available. So now you can know that, oh, this addresses has been uploaded successfully. You can even do a cross-check with your source files to see which which addresses is missed, because it is more easy to do a cross-check in Excel. Okay, then also we can do assignment on sampling point with addresses. We try to use the same assignment source files. Upload. Errors. There are errors. 9346. Okay, so one is available. Yeah, because maybe the sampling point, well, sorry, maybe the fieldwork office is not correct. But this is the way that you can also do assignment on the survey type sampling points with addresses. Okay. Then there are other uploading functions like upload translation, upload response code. We can use this project as an example. Modify languages, edit translation. We can, let's say, upload translation with the sampling point with quota. And then translation, I will use this file directly. Translation. And also there's one thing you need to aware that the speed of this tool is sometimes slow, especially when you are uploading a large number of sampling point and addresses. Once I try to upload around 60,000 addresses, it takes around 30 to 45 minutes to complete the upload. And because the sort of progress bar is missed in this program, so sometimes some of you may get confused whether this tool is still working or not. So one suggestion is when you're trying to upload a large number of sampling points or addresses, be patient. It is working, and if it's not working, there will be errors popping up. Okay, try to refresh the page and see if there is any translation uploaded. Yep, you can see these translations are uploaded. And we can show the response code. These are the global response code you have configured in the domain setting. Okay, then we can try to upload response code. Upload. There are some errors. Okay, refresh the page. Show response code. Oops, they are not present. Can try this one. And then response code.
Yeah. Hi, Edwin.
Hi.
The reason why there are some errors in the upload is because of the existence of not allowed numbers, meaning the response code is below 200.
Below 200, you mean the source files?
Yeah. If you open that one.
Response code, yeah, here.
Oh, let's take a look. No, there's nothing under the 300 here. Nothing under the 200.
Yeah. So maybe let's have a look at the.
Edwin.
Yep.
Could you please try and upload these response codes to a survey with addresses?
Yes, I was trying to upload to.
No, you are uploading it. You are uploading it to a survey with sample and quota. Try to upload it to a survey.
Yeah, the first time I was trying to upload the sampling point with quotas, and the second time I upload to sampling point with addresses. Oh, they are now present.
And they're there, yeah.
Yeah.
Because these response codes are only available for surveys with sampling points and addresses. Because you need an address to use these response codes.
Yeah, and from the screen you can see the global response code are gone, but they are still available to use, although they are not present in the screen. And and then we still have two download functions. One is getting the contact log, and the second one is getting the Gpsmap. So this one I can show you on a project like this one. It downloads the data package from your domain and then read the prior data files. And then it creates this Excel sheet, which is also located in this directory. So this is the contact log. It's basically all the information you can find in the prior data file, but in a nicer format, like each column showing different values. And then we have getting the Gpsmap. Also, I will try to get the Gpsmap from this survey. Yeah. It also reads the GPS fix in the power data file, and it will ultimately generate a page plotting the location on a GPS map, and the red circle is the accuracy. And because this is the Hong Kong office, this is a project that I was testing on, so all the locations are the same. and you cannot see clearly on different spots. And there's a filtering here, filter the interferers, and also you can do the filtering on the interfield. It pops up the location of particular interfield, etc., etc. So these are all the functions that you can do through the upload tools. And because this is open source, so which means that you can enhance or modify a bit. Like you can, for instance, you can create a function to upload the script files or to delete sampling points, etc., etc. So, any questions so far after the live demo?
We don't see any questions coming in. We'll wait 1 minute to see if people have a question.
And maybe probably these have to be fixed as well, because as far as I can see, all the projects are showing in this drop-down list.
Yeah, students.
Yeah.
Questions from anybody?
Yeah, we have one question. Will there be a default translation?
Default translation. Well, the default one can be the example files we have here. Currently, we just have this set of translation, but if you would like more, I think you can contact help desk ourselves.
Yeah, we have a few more, but as a rule, we do not want to make those translations ourselves. The default translation is English, and as you can see, you can very easily translate this to any language you would want in this file. Okay. We have a new question. If I have a script that does not have sampling points and all I want is to assign interviewers generally, can I use the upload interviewer tool to do so?
Currently, no, because the assignment, the action of upload assignment, currently it just support the survey type of using sampling points. So if you are using the without sampling points, you still need to do the assignment through the Nfield manager, or you can enhance the function here by looking at the, I'm not sure if this is available, but because we have a page showing all the available API for that,
yeah, you can assign an interviewer to a survey, but you cannot activate that interviewer on that survey, so you still need to do something else here. So you can only do half the way, no. You cannot use the API to actually assign and activate interviewers to a survey without sampling. We got one follow-up question for the default translation. What they were actually looking for was making sure that you can set a default for a language and then have that default for your entire domain for that language, so you do not have to upload the translation for each survey. That is something that we will fix in the new manager. We will not fix this in the old manager. We are busy writing a new manager, a new Nfield manager, that will first be published for the online survey, which we hope to do this first half this year. And once that is ready, we will port all the KP manager also to that new manager, and that new manager will have a default language so that you can actually say, okay, the default language in my domain is Spanish, and then from that moment on, all your surveys will have Spanish translations without the need to actually uploading those translations each time.
Okay, Edwin, up to you.
Yeah, that's the end of my presentation today.